with a hilarious deleted post-credits scene, a surprise ending for Camilo, and an even darker fate for Abuela's husband. The ending of Encanto was almost very different. Yippee-ki-yay, movie lovers, I'm Jan, and in this video I'm revealing the alternate endings for Encanto you never got to see. Spoilers ahead of course, so take care. During the beautiful melancholy song Dos Oruguitas, we get the full backstory of Abuela and her husband Pedro, how they met, fell in love, got married, had triplets, and then how he tragically died trying to protect his family and the townspeople from a group of soldiers. However, this scene was originally going to be even more heartbreaking, because in early drafts Alma and Pedro had to flee their town before the children were born, and according to Encanto co-director Jared Bush, there was a version where she had the babies at the river, and they were born the same moment Pedro died. Now, Pedro's fate was already pretty dark for a Disney movie, but I think that Alma giving birth as her husband died beside her would have been even more bleak. There is a tiny trace of this idea in the final movie in the following line, which Bush has confirmed does imply that Pedro died on the very day the triplets were born.
When my 3 babies had just been born, your abuelo Pedro and I were forced to flee our home.
Thankfully, they decided not to go with this alternate ending, meaning Pedro did at least get to say goodbye to his 3 children before his death. Bush also revealed that Chispy the capybara had a funny, fully animated post-credits scene that didn't make it into the movie. In the deleted scene, Chispy lifts his leg to relieve himself on the casita, but the magical house stops the little capybara by tipping a drain full of water on him, giving the creature a taste of his own medicine. Bush said the scene was cut because they preferred to finish the movie on the emotion and joy of the family coming back together. The mischievous Casita can also be seen pranking a capybara in this unused concept art, where it tips the cute creature off a chair. In another alternate storyline, Mirabel had a confrontation with her mother Julieta at the end of the movie, rather than her grandmother as happened in the final film. In this version, it was Mirabel's anger with her mother that led to the Casita's destruction, as with each angry word she uttered, it was as if a blow was being struck to the house, causing it to break apart. The idea was that Mirabel and Casita shared a mental connection, so her rage would end up wrecking the family home. In another version of the story, the casita was destroyed by fire, burning to the ground rather than crumbling to pieces. It would have been especially poignant for a fire to destroy the magical house, given that it owed its existence to a candle. In the aftermath of the fire, the windows and doors survived to give a sense of the original layout of the home, and a spooky, ghost-like shadow was also going to appear. This was supposed to feel like there was a ghostly spirit still in the ruins of the house, a shadow that haunted it, perhaps that of Abuela's Pedro. It was meant to feel scary and threatening, although as the camera drew closer, it would be revealed to actually be the remaining cracks of the house. A potentially confusing alternate ending for Camilo was considered at one time, where, according to Jared Bush, after the house fell and the magic died, Camilo reverted to his true self and no one recognised him. That ending would have meant that the appearance we saw Camilo use throughout the movie, when he wasn't shape-shifting, wasn't actually his real form. It was just another character he was pretending to be. I can see this ending for Camilo could have been distracting given the number of questions it would have raised, and as Bush explained, it was scrapped because the moment had to be about Mirabel. The casita also took on some creepy ghost-like characteristics in this unused concept art, where the house revealed there was something wrong by having all the paintings and pictures go blank. The idea here was that the casita was sick in a way and was experiencing the kind of memory loss or brain fog that people can get sometimes when they're sick or suffering. Another way to represent the magic going wrong was this scene where the yellow butterflies would have all gone dark, giving the moment a very spooky and creepy vibe. And these unused pieces of concept art show how in another version of the movie, the casita could literally float above the ground both before it was destroyed and later again when Mirabel restores it. A deleted scene released by Disney on the Encanto Blu-ray appears to follow up on the confrontation I mentioned earlier between Mirabel and her mother Julieta. The cut scene takes place after a devastated Mirabel has fled the Encanto, filled with guilt and regret for how she believes she's to blame for the state of the family, and Alma decides to go in search of her.
Abuela sets out on her own, promising that when she returns and Julieta has healed, they will repair the family stronger than ever.
After Abuela arrives in her former hometown, she discovers a mural dedicated to her beloved Pedro, with the words "To love at all is to love entirely," and a painting of him in the river with his arms held up, which honors the sacrifice he made for the rest of the town when he confronted the group of soldiers about to attack them. Abuela wells up with emotion at the memory of Pedro and remains at the mural overnight until the following day a child tells her where Mirabel is. And in the alternate ending, Abuela also confesses how after Pedro's death, she held on too tight to her family, afraid to lose them again.
After I lost him, I was so afraid. I couldn't bear the thought of losing anyone else. And I realize now that my husband would be so disappointed because of all the people he would have wished to understand his words. It was me, and I am so sorry.
A touch of this did make it into the final film.
I was given a miracle, a second chance, and I was so afraid to lose it that I lost sight of who our miracle was for. And I am so sorry.
There's also a fascinating alternate reconciliation between Mirabel and Abuela hinted at in this concept art, where Alma's hair transformed into a river that ran for miles, and Mirabel had to find and follow the path of the river in order to reach her grandmother. The idea here was to explore Abuela's PTSD following her husband's death, and I think the fantastically long river would have been a metaphor for the depth of Alma's sorrow and how hard it was to reach her emotionally. The concept of Abuela's hair as a river fits nicely with Colombia's famous magical realism, which also inspired the rest of the movie, including the yellow butterflies and magical rooms. Now, if you'd love to see even more deleted Capybara moments, including them trash-talking the Madrigals, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to get my next video where I'll be talking about that and more Encanto deleted scenes. I'll add a link here and in the description as soon as it's ready. So what do you think of these alternate endings, and what would you like to see happen in a future Encanto sequel or series? Let me know in the comments below. Next, tap left to discover everything you missed in Encanto, and if you enjoyed this video then do leave a thumbs up, I really appreciate it. Thanks for enjoying this movie with me, and hope you have a marvellous movie loving week. Yippee-ki-yay, movie lovers!